Like, he's not good at branding. He doesn't come from that world.
What's his record?
Like, is he gonna end my career and get the clout off of it?
Olympic gold medalist, the champ, knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, he's a fucking monster. I mean, no one has ever had a better body than Anthony Joshua.
Jake Paul is stunned by Anthony Joshua's incredible physique. He calls him a monster and admits he's a bit afraid. All his talk about being so powerful and skillful meets the reality of Joshua's overwhelming size and strength, earning respect even from a confident challenger like Jake.
So powerful, so skillful, relentless pressure.
Where's he from?
He's from Arizona.
U.S.?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is shocked watching Anthony Joshua's new physique. He calls it shockingly terrible and can't shake the cobwebs. Even champions are stunned by Joshua's new physique, proving Jake Paul is stepping into a fight far beyond his experience.
Shockingly terrible. Yeah, shockingly, yeah. Down. Very much down. Can't shake it. Can't shake the cobweb.
Even Logan Paul, Jake Paul's own brother, can't deny it. Anthony Joshua looks like a perfect gladiator at 6'6". This isn't just a fight, it's a nightmare for Jake. The size, the power, the sheer perfection makes it clear Joshua is on another level.
Anthony Joshua's 6'6".
Okay.
My brother's 6 foot. This is a guy who is already perfect. Like, if you could sculpt like a perfect gladiator human being, it's Anthony Joshua.
Alexander Usyk makes it clear that Jake Paul is completely out of his depth. Anthony Joshua is a great man and a true Olympic champion. This fight is fast and professional because Joshua brings skill, power, and experience. Jake Paul is not a real boxer, and facing someone of Joshua's caliber in just his second fight is a huge mismatch. Fans can see this is going to be a one-sided test of Joshua's dominance and raw talent.
Last fight, it's great because Anthony is Olympic champion, Francis Ngannou, it's second fight for boxing. Listen, people.
Eddie Hearn doesn't hold back, saying Jake Paul is crazy for taking this fight. He has absolutely no chance against Anthony Joshua, who is bigger, stronger, and far more experienced. Joshua will smash him to pieces in the ring, and there is no doubt about it. The sheer confidence from someone like Eddie Hearn shows just how dangerous Joshua is and how little chance Jake has. Every second in that ring will remind Jake of Joshua's true power.
He's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake?
Anthony Joshua has transformed from a strong athlete to an absolute heavyweight monster. He understands the importance of weight and power for a boxer and has put in the work to dominate physically. Coaches may have warned against weights, but Joshua has perfected his strength for the ring. Jake Paul will face not only skill, but incredible size and power. This is what makes Joshua a nightmare matchup, and it proves why even seasoned fighters respect his preparation and relentless dominance.
A lot of athletes have taken on that role now where they're just banging weights.
So Anthony Joshua went from this to this.
I can understand why coaches would always tell me don't touch weights, they're no good for boxers. So rather than spending more time in the gym game.
Spencer Oliver is very close to picking Anthony Joshua because he knows exactly what Joshua brings to the ring. Joshua is proud and will not lose respect in front of the world. He knows he has to get the job done and will enter the fight aggressive. For Jake Paul, this is terrifying because Joshua's pride and determination make him an unstoppable force. Every attack will be precise and powerful, and Jake will struggle to survive against a fighter this motivated and skilled.
Very close to the win picking Anthony Joshua because I know Joshua and I know him well, and he's a proud guy, and he will not want to lose any respect from this, and he knows that he's got to get this job done. So expect to see an aggressive Anthony Joshua, which is only bad for Jake Paul.
Duke McKenzie is clear that Anthony Joshua would never take Jake Paul lightly. He emphasizes that Jake is no match for a trained athlete of Joshua's caliber. Jake might seem confident, But in the ring, he is facing a professional who is disciplined, fast, and powerful. Joshua's experience and Olympic-level skills make him a nightmare opponent for anyone pretending to be a fighter. Jake Paul is stepping into a fight that exposes every weakness he has, while Joshua dominates effortlessly with skill and precision.
I don't think Anthony Joshua would take Jake Paul lightly any way, shape or form, and it'd be so easy to hit. You're talking about a trained athlete against...
Anthony Joshua is making it clear that he is not just here to show off. He intends to do a job and hurt Jake Paul with every opportunity he gets. This fight is about dominance and proving a point. Joshua's focus and desire to physically control the fight make it terrifying for Jake. There's no mercy, and every punch will count. Jake Paul is facing a man who is fully prepared mentally and physically and knows exactly how to dismantle an opponent who is far out of his league.
If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to break his face, I'm going to break his body up, I'm going to stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart. I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete.
A Boy Called Henry highlights how ridiculous it is for Jake Paul to even consider this fight. The jump from one opponent to Anthony Joshua is staggering. Joshua is bigger, stronger, and far more experienced. Jake's confidence seems misplaced against someone of this magnitude. Fans can see that Jake is stepping into a situation beyond his skill level. Joshua's sheer size, power, and technique make it obvious that Jake Paul is in for the toughest fight of his life. And this is not a challenge he can simply bluff his way through.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Jake Paul has gone from this fight to this fight. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but one is a little bit bigger than the other. So what is going on here? Why does Jake Paul think that this is something he can do and be successful with?
Ben Davison warns that Jake Paul is extremely dangerous to himself in this fight. He emphasizes the physical risk and the brutal reality of stepping into the ring with someone like Anthony Joshua. Joshua's power, skill, and experience make him one of the most dangerous opponents on the planet. Jake Paul's journey from influencer to boxer meets a massive wall. Every punch, every move will expose the gap in skill and strength. This fight is not just a challenge, it is a test of survival for Jake Paul.
Paul have a...
Dangerous in the sense of for the health of Jake, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, like this is a sport that we love, and I think we need to protect that.
Mm.
And you know, he's one of the most dangerous guys in the world to go step in a ring with. Like, you saw that with Ngannou, who was a seasoned, you know, one of the most durable men on the planet in one of the toughest sports in combat sports.
Spencer Oliver warns God help Jake Paul because Anthony Joshua has proven devastating in the ring before. He dominated Francis Ngannou in just a few rounds, despite Ngannou's size and strength. Jake comes from a different world with little real boxing experience. Joshua's level, power, and skill are unmatched. Any illusions Jake has about surviving are shattered. This fight is a true test of professional boxing versus a white-collar background, and Jake will quickly realize he is in far over his head against a champion like Joshua.
Jake Paul, that's all I can say. We saw that what Anthony Joshua had done to Francis Ngannou. He went out there and iced him in a couple of rounds. A guy coming from a different discipline. Well, this kid's coming from another level. You know, white-collar boxing in 2018, gone through the mill, and the only boxer really that he's actually boxed, a legitimate boxer he got beat by, and that was in Tommy Fury.
Devin Haney expresses disbelief that Jake Paul would take this fight instead of Anthony Joshua. Joshua is one of the best fighters in the world and a solidified champion. Jake is stepping into a ring with someone so dangerous and powerful that the challenge borders on insanity. Every punch and every movement from Joshua will expose Jake's weaknesses. This fight is not about skill alone. It is about surviving against a man who dominates physically, mentally, and technically. Fans can already see Jake is in for the toughest test of his career.
I was surprised that Jake took the fight rather than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is one of the best fighters in the world. He's a solidified champion. But I'm surprised that Jake took the fight and is fighting a guy that's so dangerous like Anthony Joshua. So I got to take my hat off to him. Because we were saying that he's fighting this person past their prime, this person's old and this and whatnot, and now he's fighting.
Carl Frampton is confident that Anthony Joshua will dominate Jake Paul completely. He says if it's a real fight, Joshua would blow him away in a single round. And even if he doesn't end it immediately, Joshua's skill and power ensure Jake cannot survive long. This highlights just how dangerous Joshua is. Fans can see that Jake is up against a fighter who is calm, powerful, and relentless. Every move will be calculated and precise, and Jake Paul will struggle to find any opening against the man of Joshua's immense experience and Olympic pedigree.
Why do you think it doesn't harm AJ?
I don't think it does harm.
Why?
Because I just think he goes and if it's a real fight, he'd go and blow him away in a round. That's the end.
What if he doesn't do him in a round?
Duke McKenzie stresses just how dangerous this fight is. Anthony Joshua is an 18-stone trained athlete, while Jake Paul is much smaller and simply hasn't earned the right to be in this ring. He has never beaten top-line heavyweights and has barely boxed any legitimate professionals. This is not about hype. It is a brutal mismatch. Joshua's experience, power, and discipline will dominate every aspect of the fight. Jake Paul is entering a ring with a man who can dismantle him with ease. And fans already know Joshua is likely to control every round.
I don't believe to fight Anthony Joshua. It's not like he's beaten, 4 or 5, top line heavyweights, other heavyweights. I don't believe he's boxed any heavyweights.
Derek Chisora makes it clear that Anthony Joshua must finish Jake Paul quickly. He warns that nobody can go past 5 rounds with Jake because Joshua's power and skill will overwhelm him. Fans saw what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia, ending the fight in a single round. Jake Paul faces the full force of a world-class heavyweight, and every second spent in the ring increases his danger. Joshua will dominate, control, and finish this fight decisively, and anyone watching knows this is a one-sided battle waiting to happen.
So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony as I listen. I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's gonna be having a go at you because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. He has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, people are gonna be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
The stakes in this fight could not be higher as Anthony Joshua steps into the ring looking bigger, stronger, and more prepared than ever before. Jake Paul is facing a man with Olympic pedigree, professional experience, and raw power that can end a fight in seconds. If Joshua wins, he cements his status as one of the most dominant heavyweights of his era, proving that skill, size, and preparation are unstoppable. If Jake Paul somehow shocks the world, it would be the upset of the decade. But everything we have seen from Joshua suggests that is highly unlikely. Mentally, Joshua is stronger, more focused, and hungrier than anyone Jake has ever faced, while Jake Paul is stepping up from limited experience against true elite competition. This fight is about survival, respect, and proving who truly belongs in the heavyweight division. Are you backing Anthony Joshua, or do you think Jake Paul will pull the upset? Drop your thoughts below and join the debate.